But right now at 10 o'clock, we continue our coverage of North Carolina's evolving 2026 Senate race. Days after Democratic candidate Wiley Nickel made the decision to suspend his campaign and endorse former Governor Roy Cooper, the former congressman, joining us live right now this morning on Live Impact News. How you doing, Mr. Nickel? Thanks for joining me once again. Nice to see you.
It's great to be with you. Thanks so much, Jane.
Well, as someone now who has had some involvement, and you did a lot of steps in forwarding your candidacy in the Senate race, it's been a few days. How has the response been from the Democratic community and from your supporters?
Yeah, I mean, people are united in support of Roy Cooper. We've got a tremendous candidate for the U.S. Senate. And for me, I started this campaign to send Thom Tillis packing. So it was mission accomplished on that front. But in all seriousness, this is an important time for Democrats in North Carolina, for the entire country. And we've got a president in the Oval Office shredding the Constitution, deliberately tanking our economy. We need to send a message. And in this moment, Democrats are united, myself included, in support of former Governor Roy Cooper. He's going to make a great U.S. Senator.
You've had some time to reflect now. Was this decision something you've been considering for a while, or was it Governor Cooper's entry into the race that prompted a quick response?
No, I would love to be continuing my campaign for the U.S. Senate, but when Roy Cooper got in the race, we had to decide what's best for the Democratic Party, what's best for the country, and having a united Democratic Party at this point gives Governor Cooper a huge advantage in making sure that we do everything we can to send a Democrat to Washington. And that, for me, was a big part of the decision, and something that I think matters for everybody in North Carolina.
How about personally? Was there any difficulty in stepping back from something that you have been working towards?
Yeah, I've got so much work I want to finish in Washington, and it's a step back for me, but I think it's a step forward for the state of North Carolina to make sure we have a united Democratic Party in support of Roy Cooper for the Senate. But there's still a lot more work left to do. I'm going to find another way to serve, but at this point, I'm very happy with the decision, and I get to spend more time with my family over the last few weeks of the summer too, which is a big plus.
Oh, exactly. Yeah, you got to look at all of that because it is a balance of life. You've worked with Governor Cooper in the past. What do you believe his biggest assets will be in the Senate race and with his experience in office if he does win?
I served with him in the North Carolina State Senate. During my time in the Senate, he didn't have a single veto overridden. That means Democrats had a seat at the table to do important things for our state, like investing in public education and making sure we get affordable health care to hundreds of thousands of North Carolinians. Those are things that I'm proud of. Governor Cooper was a big part of all of that. Served with him during my time in Congress as well. We worked on a lot of federal issues together, and he listens. He understands these issues. And as governor, he made us the #1 state in the country for business. That's a big deal. We need more bipartisan leaders like Governor Cooper who are going to bring this country together rather than pull us apart.
The Republican primary is shaping up to be quite competitive now. From your perspective, what should Democrats be watching for as that race develops?
Well, it's something that should really concern anybody who's watching what's happening on the Republican side. Donald Trump has handpicked big oil lobbyist Michael Whatley, and the choice is really clear here. There is not going to be a Republican primary. Donald Trump has just chosen his candidate, and he's chosen someone who's not going to serve North Carolina. He's someone who's going to go to Washington, if he's elected, only to serve Donald Trump, and that's bad for our state. We need somebody who's going to be fighting #1 for North Carolina, not for what's best for Donald Trump, and that's what we're seeing here with the Republican Party under Donald Trump. It's not about policy, it's not about issues, it's about blind loyalty to Donald Trump, and that's bad for our democracy.
North Carolina has been trending purple, but remains challenging for Democrats nationwide. What does Cooper need to do differently than past Democratic Senate candidates?
What I think he needs to do is continue what he did as governor, and that's focus on economic issues. And Republicans are giving us a huge opening here. Trump campaigned on tackling inflation and bringing down costs, and he's done exactly the opposite. His policies are totally just about screwing working families. And on the other side, we've got Democrats who are saying we're going to bring down costs. The Republicans passed a bill that gives massive tax cuts to billionaires and the super wealthy while stealing health care from over 600,000 North Carolinians with Medicaid cuts. That was a big part of the reason why Thom Tillis got out of the race, because of these horrible cuts for North Carolina. So it's a simple message. We're fighting for working families. We're trying to bring tax cuts for middle-class families. Donald Trump and his big oil lobbyist friend Michael Whatley just want to raise taxes on middle class to give tax cuts for the billionaires. These tariffs are going to cost $3,000 or $4,000 a year for every single family. That's not good for our state. It's a huge contrast here, and what Governor Cooper needs to do is make sure he continues to focus on those economic issues and what's best for working families in our state.
You're obviously going to stay engaged with this endorsement. How hands-on are you going to be in Cooper's campaign?
Yeah, I'm going to do all I can to make sure he's successful. We need to send him to Washington. I'm meeting with him on Monday. We're going to talk about all the ways that I can help. But I think the simple message here is that Democrats are united behind Roy Cooper, and we got a great chance to flip this Senate seat. But it hasn't been done in quite a while in North Carolina. In the last 40 years, we've only sent 2 Democrats to Washington for single-year terms. So it's going to be a tough race, but it's one that I'm excited we got a great candidate to get us over the finish line.
All right. I know you're not ready to talk specifics about what's next specifically, but we know you're going to be involved. What else do you want voters to know?
I'm going to continue fighting with every ounce of my energy to make sure we elect Democrats up and down the ballot. There's another office I'm taking a look at. I'm going to take a few weeks for some summertime with my family, but we'll take a look and hopefully have a decision about how I can continue to do the work I started in Washington and continue to serve folks here in North Carolina.
Wiley Nickel, thank you for making the time this morning to join me here on Live Impact News. Appreciate the conversation as always, and I expect it's not our last.
Thanks so much. I'm happy to come back anytime.
Okay. Take care. Enjoy the rest of the summer with your family.
Thanks so much.